5 years ago, a man's fantasy became reality in a form never seen before, a giant cooking arena, the Kitchen Stadium. The motivation for spending his fortune to create Kitchen Stadium was to encounter new original cuisines, which could be called true artistic creations. To realize his dream, he first secretly started selecting the top chefs of various styles of cooking. And he named his men the Iron Chefs, the invincible men of culinary skills. Iron Chef Japanese is Masaharu Morimoto. Iron Chef French is Hiroyuki Sakai. Iron Chef Chinese is Chen Kenichi. And Masahiko Kobe is Iron Chef Italian. The Kitchen Stadium is the arena where Iron Chefs await the challenges of master chefs from around the world. Both the Iron Chef and Challenger have 1 hour to tackle the theme ingredient of the day, using all their senses, skills, creativity. They're to prepare artistic dishes never tasted before. And if ever a challenger wins over the Iron Chef, he or she will gain the people's ovation and fame forever. But this man has even bigger dreams. Yes, he is on a quest to see and experience more from around the world. In Paris.
ピエール側にも残り10分を切りましたがと聞いたところ、OK、サバと答えてくれました。
ああ、そうですか。
In Beijing.
さあ始まりました、世紀の北京決戦。
In Hong Kong and other exotic locales.
これはすごい。
Kitchen Stadium is the arena where you will meet the master chefs from around the world and their artistic creations. What inspiration will today's challenger bring, and how will the Iron Chef fight back? The heat will be on!
If memory serves me right, Iron Chef Japanese Morimoto made his debut this summer. Most of his neo-Japanese creations have been brilliant, while some have been targets of sharp criticism.
New art is born by breaking all rules, yeah. But you know, there needs to be a theory to become an art piece.
But I can't help but feel that there are too many flavors to this.
I cater to people in New York. It's a melting pot there. I have to use many flavors, mixed flavors, harmonized.
Perhaps he is confused by his new position. Here now is Michiba's insight.
The fact is that the stage set is in Japan. He needs to tell himself that, to remember and get back to his roots.
Michiba says if Morimoto battles a certain man, his confusion will dissolve. The man is Michiba's right-hand man in the Kitchen Stadium when Michiba was Iron Chef. After Michiba retired, he scouted that man to head his restaurant. Today's challenger, a man who knows the stadium inside and out, chef of Loksante in Ginza, Keiichi Miyanaga. After quitting an office job at 24, he turned himself into a cook. And only 2 years later, he was appointed assistant to the great Michiba. A man who has absorbed Michiba's philosophy, working alongside the master, a perfect challenger for this battle. And Michiba went on to reveal Morimoto's weaknesses.
It seems to me that he makes unnecessary, wasteful movements during the battle. It would be better for him if he could just stop doing that.
So now, Miyanaga, the pride of Michiba, wake up the soul of Japanese cuisine in our Iron Chef Japanese.
I want to do a good job as a team with my 2 assistants.
的デビューから4ヶ月鉄人としての意味に迷い始めるこの時期3代目和の鉄人森本正治を鍛え上げるべくついに道場が動き出しました。しかも送り込んできたのは鉄人以上にこのキッチンスタジアムを知り尽くしたかつての女子。さあ皆さん大きな拍手でお迎えください。銀座63亭宮永健志。
Former Iron Chef Michiba leads his assistant into the arena. Miyanaga, having taken part in more than 160 battles in Kitchen Stadium, surely knows his way around it better than Iron Chef Japanese Morimoto. And through Miyanaga's creations, Michiba will make his statement on the current Iron Chef.
It's been a while.
どうもよろしく。道田さんはその森本を織田信長と評されましたけど、信長の一番の弱点は何ですか？
He has incredible inspiration, but that can also work against him. That's his weakness, I'd say.
初めてこのアイアンロードを歩いた気分はいかがでしょう？
I'll just do my best.
どうぞ頑張ってください。それでは2人を心待ちにしている鉄人を登場させましょう。一人だけ蘇るがいいアイアンシェフ。
In the ethereal atmosphere of Kitchen Stadium, Iron Chef Japanese Masaharu Morimoto ascends to his glorious position. The master chef at Nobu, the premier Japanese restaurant in New York, the country's top chefs look up to him as the spearhead of neo-Japanese, boldly going against traditions in Japanese cuisine. Today, he's against Michiba's shadow man, who's been taught well by the former Iron Chef and is ready to cut him down.
和の鉄人の力量を試す食材としては日本に夏を告げるあの魚が旬です。鉄人の将来を占う川魚。それでは発表します。今日のテーマはこれです。今日のテーマは鮎。
If memory serves me right, the challenger is a veteran of the Kitchen Stadium, having participated in over 160 battles as assistant. What's more, he has Michiba at his side to direct him in how to take on the Iron Chef, the perfect coach. On the other hand, the Iron Chef cannot lose against a former assistant. His pride is at stake.
Iron Chef Morimoto's pride really on the line today. Challenger Miyanaga was an assistant to former Iron Chef Michiba and chosen by him to douse Morimoto's face with cold water. They want to give the Iron Chef a wake-up call, and Morimoto has to battle against a chef who's honed his skills right here in Kitchen Stadium. Opening gong and the Sweetfish battle begins. Former Iron Chef Michiba is calling this a final exam for Morimoto to see if he truly measures up to Michiba's standards for an Iron Chef. Today's challenger, handpicked by Michiba, he knows Kitchen Stadium inside out. The theme ingredient, Sweetfish Ayu in Japanese, comparable to a small river trout, you might say.
Yeah, it's a summer delicacy in Japan, and accentuating the natural flavor of the fish, of course, is the key.
Yes?
Yeah, the gourmets go for the innards also. They like the subtle bitterness.
All right, and the challengers on to some prep work 30 seconds into this battle with bamboo skewers.
Yeah, he's spearing skewers into the fish in kind of a wavy fashion.
Okay, traditional way of doing it with the bamboo skewers.
Right,
about
that
5
makes
seconds
the
of fish.
look like they're swimming on the plate when you serve it.
Okay, now on the Iron Chef's side, he's removing the innards here, and I don't think he'll chuck them, he'll use them, right?
Right, well, as we said, the gourmets, they like that subtle bitterness when prepared properly.
Go ahead, Ota.
I talked to Chef Michiba about what is most important to the Iron Chef in the Kitchen Stadium, and he said the first and last 5 minutes are the most crucial. In the first 5 minutes, you need to write down your menu. This is not just for show, it's to make sure that you and your helpers are on the same page during the battle, And in the last 5 minutes, as Iron Chef, you need to give finishing touches to the dishes that you've jointly created with your assistants. That's the role of a chef in any kitchen, he says.
Okay, you've got to have a game plan and communicate it, transmit it to the assistants so that, as Ota says, you're all on the same page. And Michiba says, how you start and how you finish are crucial. Challenger Miyanaga, only 30 years old, but he's the head chef at Michiba's restaurant in Ginza, and he too knows the secrets to success here in Kitchen Stadium.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
When I told the Iron Chef that the Challenger has over 3 years of experience in the Kitchen Stadium, while he only has a few months, he said, that doesn't make any difference. I have more experience in general, and I'm not going to lose face with my assistants by losing to him.
All right, the temperature's starting to rise already between these two. Thanks, Ota. Now let's move on over to the business of introducing our guests today. Next to me, the very talented and lovely actress, Sai Ishiki. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to be here.
I must say, you look fabulous in that dress. I'll try not to end up with a sore neck after this.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. And we also have actor Teruhiko Saigo. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Saigo-san, this is your first time to Kitchen Stadium. Yes. What do you think?
This is great. Very exciting. Overwhelming almost.
And you like Sweetfish?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Okay, well, settle in and enjoy.
Thank you.
And as always, Dr. Hattori, our commentator, ready to go, Doc?
Of course, anytime.
Okay, and now Challenger Miyanaga making Japanese soup broth the same way his master Michiba used to, with a ton of dried bonito shavings dumped in the water there.
He's doing everything Michiba's way.
Okay, and the Iron Chef working with the salt, right?
Yeah, it's salt.
Okay, coating the fish there.
Fukui-san?
Yes, Ota.
I asked the Iron Chef what he's going to do with the innards that he was taking out. He said, in Japanese cuisine, people like the bitter innards, but I'm not convinced that the bitterness is that good. That wouldn't go in the United States. But about the sweet fish itself, he says, I like it a lot.
Okay, but as he said, probably in New York, customers wouldn't exactly be jumping for joy about the bitterness of innards. But us folks here would like to have a dish or two with the slight bitterness, given our acquired taste. Yes.
The Iron Chef told me that he's not going to use any bonito broth today because it may kill the delicate aroma of the fish. He's only going to use a light seaweed broth, he says.
Okay, so the Iron Chef says it'll kill the aroma of the sweet fish bonito broth.
Yeah, he hit the nail right on the head there, I think.
All right, well, let's chalk one up for Morimoto then.
Yeah, got the first question right anyway.
Fukui-san.
Yes, go ahead, Ota.
The Challenger has just switched on his rice cooker, getting it ready, and also in his pressure cooker, he has the skewered sweet fish, sake, soy sauce, sweet cooking sake, sugar, and salt-cured plums.
Skewered ones?
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but the Challenger has just begun writing down his menu.
Yes, right there, writing the menu of the day with a felt marker.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, Michiba used a brush, though.
Yeah, but his handwriting's good.
Yes,
got a nice character to it.
Easy to read, utilitarian, more than artistic.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
I asked Chef Miyanaga how he feels about being the main challenger for this first time in the Kitchen Stadium rather than one of the assistants, and he says, I feel the pressure, but I'm going to work as a team with my helpers, and I just want to enjoy the moment and the experience.
All right, teamwork, a collaborative effort. Michiba once told us that Morimoto needs to use his assistants more efficiently. This challenger knows everything there is about being an assistant here, but it is one thing to assist. It's another to lead.
Now, the Iron Chef had something in some hot water there. What was that?
Okay, we'll pan to the right and get an up-close shot. Chocolate.
Chocolate.
There he goes again, Morimoto.
Must be a dessert.
Ishiki-san, chocolate and sweet fish?
Yeah.
Wild enough combo for you?
I can't even begin to imagine, but
Maybe with the innards.
bitter chocolate, yeah.
All right.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
Some words of wisdom for the Iron Chef from Chef Michiba, who says Ayu sweet fish is a river fish, so you have to prepare it in a way that will remind the Japanese tasters of the beauty of nature and mountains. He should remember that nostalgia in presentation is very important.
Words of guidance or...
Thank you, Master. Okay, he just took that advice.
Think so? Morimoto presses forward. That's his style, not back. Now the challenger's frying. What are these here? These some bones, perhaps?
Fukui-san?
Yes.
Yes, he is frying some heads and bones coated with cornstarch after filet.
All right, thanks, Ota. And in the pressure cooker, he has the skewered fish, right? Is that it?
Yes, that's right. Skewered sweet fish, to which he's added salt-cured plums.
Plums.
Salt-cured plums.
Okay, this is a technique chefs often use when frying saltwater fish.
Saltwater fish, even though sweet fish are freshwater. Now the
Right.
Iron Chef skewering the fish. For grilling, Doc, would this be the idea?
I think so. He's dressing them for grilling now, I think.
Okay, well, that would be a conventional way to go with the bamboo skewers. And now in the blender, what do we have here?
Foie gras, maybe.
Foie gras, yes.
Okay, it should be foie gras.
Yeah, I've had it before.
So you've had it a couple of times?
Only twice in my life.
All right, well, you probably get it twice today.
This will be my third time.
Means
today.
it'll be a charm. Lucky for you.
Yeah.
The question is, how does foie gras accentuate the taste of sweet fish? That's what we want to know right now.
And the Challenger has something in the steamer.
All right, what's he got? Yes, go ahead.
In the Challenger steamer, he's placed a container that holds sweet fish fillets dipped in bonito broth.
The fillet pieces having been dipped in bonito broth, what's the need of putting them in the steamer? Huh.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
And getting back to Chef Michiba's advice about nostalgia and presentation, after Iron Chef Morimoto said thank you, he also added, but nostalgia is not only for Japanese. In the States, people come from many different countries, and each has their own unique way of presenting their cuisine. That's what I try to bring to the table.
All right, explanation proffered. And swinging back to the Challenger side, looking at what's come out of the steamer, the filleted pieces in bonito broth looking good.
You know, there is a dish that they use ice to actually cool the meat of the fish.
Really?
Oh, there he is. He's doing that right now. You're right.
Okay, you see that? Now, I think he's added flavor with the broth first, and then we'll dip it into ice to give the nice texture to the fish, but I'm still not sure how he's going to finally serve this, though.
Okay.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
The Challenger has taken the container out of the steamer that had the filleted sweet fish in bonito broth and has placed it in the ice water and now is putting it into the fridge for chilling.
Okay, we see right there. Now back.
The Iron Chef is now...
Okay, miso?
Miso.
Yeah, it's a type of miso, maybe.
Fukui-san?
Go ahead.
Yes, this is hacho miso and sugar, believe it or not.
Sugar. And sugar mixed with miso?
And Fukui-san?
Go ahead.
Back on the Challenger side, Chef Michiba heard Iron Chef Morimoto's comments that nostalgia can be presented in many different ways culturally. Michiba-san said that may be true, but he is a Japanese chef and he should uphold the Japanese ways first. He looked a little miffed.
You get the feeling Morimoto's battling two opponents today. A sort of a
here
tag
comes
team.
the foie gras.
Yes, mixed in.
The foie gras mix there. It's hacho miso, sugar, foie gras, broth, and fresh cream just added.
And I see the Challenger's putting rice in there.
On the Challenger side, rice. Does he have anything yet that could be matched with the rice, though?
What did he have?
Sweet fish noodles?
He also has Japanese pepper leaves.
Well, peppercorn, actually.
Okay, thanks, Doc. And not much rice in there for whatever he's working on.
And the Iron Chef is using plums.
There they are.
Yes, salt-cured plums.
No, they're not plums.
No? Ishiki-san.
Oh, it's not?
No, these are
That's
liver.
wrong.
Yes, go ahead.
These are sweet fish livers dipped in sake.
Okay, getting a sake bath.
Okay, now this is the bitter part.
Maybe the Iron Chef will grill him with the chocolate sauce. Why not? That'll ride out the bitterness. 30 minutes gone. The battle's halfway through. A Japanese on Japanese cuisine affair. The battle, sweet fish. Key ingredient. Yes.
One of the Challenger's assistants just made the comment that Chef Miyanaga knows their strengths and weaknesses and gives them work accordingly, and he said it's really easy to work for him and that things are going really smoothly on this side.
Okay, no surprise there. Miyanaga knows full well what it's like to assist here in Kitchen Stadium.
Okay, we got some bourbon here. The Iron Chef is dipping the liver into bourbon.
Unbelievable. Another first. Saigo-san, this is Morimoto's style. I know you like sake, but what about bourbon? You like that?
Yes, I do.
What about fish livers dipped in bourbon?
Fukui-san?
What is he going to do with it after dipping it into the bourbon?
I don't mean to interrupt Michiba-san, but when I asked the Iron Chef about this dish and his comments before about not liking the innards, he said, yes, like I said before, I'm not going to force the testers to take the bitterness as it is. There are gourmets in New York who enjoy fish innards, so I am going to use them today, but in my own way.
Okay, venturing on his own road, as it were, in preparing the innards, a way of looking at Japanese cuisine from an American angle.
Okay, the Iron
Morimoto
Chef
possesses.
is working on the sweet fish he already took the innards out of. He's stuffing something now.
And what is the stuffing?
Fukui-san?
Yes, tell us.
He has stuffed these sweet fish with several ingredients: minced sweet fish meat, the fish eggs or sweet fish roe, and some of the innards.
Huh? Roe in the mix?
Okay, so he's putting them back in with other ingredients. He's added some ingredients to it.
Okay, it almost looks like a paste for fish balls.
Yeah.
So sweet fish stuffed with minced sweet fish. How about that?
Fukui-san,
Take it.
the challenger is mixing his rice with some interesting things. They include Japanese pepper, sesame, lemon juice, salt, and the fish that he had breaded with cornstarch. He minced those fried fish and mixed them into the rice as well.
And that had the bones in it too.
This will taste really good, actually.
Okay, we'll await it. Now let's go over to the side, get a few words from former Iron Chef Michiba. Ota, are you ready?
Thank you. How do you think the two chefs, Miyanaga and Morimoto, are doing so far?
They're doing okay.
Uh-huh.
He should do okay, finish things on time, but you know, in the kitchen, you just get nervous and try to rush when you don't have to. Miyanaga needs to slow down, but in the kitchen stadium, things are tense. That's making him rush.
Did you see the Iron Chef has a dish with chocolate in it?
Oh, yeah, that was interesting, yeah.
Yes, interesting. Any ideas on what he's trying to do?
Well, chocolate, I don't know, perhaps sauce or something?
Okay, and any last words for Chef Miyanaga?
Miyanaga, you got plenty of time. Don't rush, slow down.
Okay, thank you, and we'll send it back to you, Fukui-san.
All right, thanks, Ota. Don't rush. And now Miyanaga with this one.
Okay, I think later he'll pour soup over this.
You think so? This rice in soup?
Yeah, it should taste quite good, too. With
All
the
right.
bonito broth and all.
We'll see. Now the Iron Chef, sweet fish goes into the clay pot, not boiling yet. This on his side.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
They tell me that in this pot the Iron Chef is heating up. He has a kind of seaweed broth into which he's added the salted sweet fish, but he rinsed the salt off before adding it.
All right, got it. Now the challenger's side, what is he up to here?
Okay, this is the one he had earlier.
Okay, the pressure cooker in which he put the sweet fish on skewers, and now he's removing all of the sweet fish from the pressure cooker.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, the silvery sweet fish now have a nice golden hue. A Midas touch to the sweet fish.
No, usually if you boil them, they don't maintain this shape. The look like they're still swimming in a stream.
Yeah, like they're swimming.
A little trick up his sleeve there.
You know, he was very particular about pleasing the tasters with the appearance of the fish as well.
Visually impressive, you are right.
20 minutes to go.
And the Iron Chef side deep frying here.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
The Iron Chef is now frying some sweet fish. Now, if you remember, these are the fish that he was stuffing earlier with minced sweet fish meat, innards, and sweet fish roe. He has sprinkled them with salt and pepper and dipped them into batter and breadcrumbs before frying. The stuffing, he says, is not bitter at all.
Okay, and that's how he wants it. So frying the stuffed fish back on his side. And now the challenger has some sliced eggplant, peas.
Beef?
No, Hattori, it's liver.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, I lost my mind for a moment there.
All right.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
I asked Chef Michiba what he thinks the challenger's best dish is today, and he said it's the stew in the pot with the salt-cured ingredients added. The stew contains broth, light soy sauce, burdocks, mushrooms, and the salt-cured innards. He said this is a very good way to enjoy the aroma of the river fish as well as the taste.
All right, well, this is it right here, what Michiba thinks will be Miyanaga's best dish. Meantime, Iron Chef's side, he's pulled out some bamboo containers and has already got something in there.
Fukui-san?
Yes, tell us.
What he's putting into these bamboo containers is some of the sweet fish that he grilled earlier.
All right. Do you think he'll add something else? Maybe a sauce? Sprinkle some salt?
Boy, maybe.
And back to the challenger's side now, the man with the golden sweet fish up close, head and all. Yes.
I asked the challenger how he's holding up, and he said, playing this role is tough. I've got to answer your questions besides cook and give directions. I respect the Iron Chefs for taking this kind of pressure. Me, I'm just trying to keep up.
Hey, look at the Iron Chef here.
What is that?
He's adding broth into that.
Broth, okay.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
What the Iron Chef was just pouring into these bamboo cups was warmed sake.
Oh,
Sake.
okay, sake.
All right, and Michiba with some covert activity in enemy territory right now.
Okay, now that's why he didn't add salt.
Now Michiba's right in front of Morimoto for some intelligence gathering. Hope he keeps that info under his hat for eyes only right here. And Morimoto's ignoring him. Your guess is as good as mine. All right, back on track. Sake it was, not broth.
15 minutes
Now the Iron
to
Chef
go.
has finished his fried items here.
Fried fish.
More like pork cutlets in appearance, isn't
Especially with that batter.
Like fried prawns.
it? Okay, now he's used breadcrumbs, so that's why. Sweet fish cutlets, per se.
All right, and the fish are stuffed with several minced items, including the innards.
Fukui-san?
Yes.
Chef Michiba just made the comment that sometimes Iron Chef Morimoto tends to waste precious time doing non-essential things. So he was watching him to see if he could make any suggestions, but today he said he didn't see any problems. He's doing great.
All right.
Iron Chef is now finishing the cutlet.
Yes, sir. He's cut them into sections for serving. I tell you what, the sweet fish cutlets look ready to go. Put them on standby. And now...
Oh, wait a minute. What's this?
What?
Okay, I think I know.
Okay, yes, the sauce for the cutlets.
Yeah, miso-based sauce with fresh cream in it.
Oh, fresh cream?
Yeah.
Fukusan?
Yes.
I've got a whole list of things that make up this sauce for the fish cutlet. If you remember, he blended sugar, hacho miso, seaweed broth, and foie gras in the food processor, and also added fresh cream.
Okay, that's the sauce. Whoa!
Okay, what's going on here?
Chocolate.
What is this? Okay, what's he doing?
Fukusan?
Yes.
Ah, he's pasting it on the liver.
Yes, do you remember the livers he cooked in Japanese sake and then soaked in bourbon?
Right.
Well, he has taken them out, smothered them with sugar, and is now coating them with chocolate.
I want to try that.
Well, that was a good call, Ishiki-san. Or was that you, Saigo-san? Whose idea was that to put the liver together with the chocolate?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Fukusan?
Yes, interesting. Very interesting.
Chocolate liver.
Go ahead, Ota.
Sorry to interrupt. I asked whether the liver in this dish is still bitter, and the Iron Chef said, I've cooked them in sake, dipped them in bourbon, and that should have gotten rid of any fishy smell. The bitterness should be just right, in my opinion.
Okay, just right in his estimation.
Yes, well, if he's been successful in all that, it would taste just like bitter chocolate.
Way to go.
5 minutes to go.
Fukusan?
Yes.
I asked Chef Michiba about the Iron Chef's chocolate adventure, and he just looked at me and said, I don't know. It's just like him to be creative, but maybe too creative for me. It might backfire on him. Anyway, he's lost me on this one.
Okay, well, Michiba's not going to be joining the Morimoto fan club anytime soon, I guess. Now the battle in the last 5 minutes. One of the two zones Michiba called crucial. He said in the last 5 minutes, the head chef checks everything, fine-tunes all the dishes everybody's been working on. So how will his man Miyanaga fare in these critical last 5 minutes? The Iron Chef, now the fish from the clay pot right there.
Fukusan?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
The Iron Chef had some sweet fish boiling in seaweed broth, remember?
Right.
Well, he's ladled some of that broth on the rice, but evidently he says the fish is not for eating.
What? Huh?
Oh, it's not served?
Aroma and flavor only, not to eat?
Let me clarify. You can eat the grilled fish on the rice, but the fish in the pot were just for flavoring.
Okay.
Okay, I see. So only for broth. That's why he used salt in this. I get it.
Okay, for the broth.
Yeah, sweet fish broth for sweet fish.
So the flavor really packing a 1-2 punch there.
Yeah, boy, now that is what you call luxurious. Boy, that's just gorgeous.
Ooh, 6 big ones for that.
Boy, this is too much. You know, only in Kitchen Stadium would he dare to try something like this.
All right, I'm calling this one chocolate. And it's got a wafer to boot.
Fukusan?
Yes.
A kinder, gentler Michiba-san watching the Iron Chef said, great job, he knows sweet fish, that they're not just for grilling, but for also making broth too.
All right, some words of grudging admiration from Michiba for the Iron Chef's creations. All right, let's swing back over to the challenger side. Check it out.
Baby sweet fish.
On skewers, small fry in the pan. 1 minute left now, the final 60 seconds. This battle, the Iron Chef versus the ghost of the Iron Chef. And it looks like Miyanaga's going to need more than a minute to get these fish out of the pan, onto the plate. The Iron Chef, his pace is slowed down. His cooking's done. Just some finishing touches remain. The final 30 seconds in the battle. Challenger side is in disarray. They're scrambling over there. Michiba can't help him now. It's different when you're the man on top.
Oh, he's got some oil.
The Iron Chef, yes, the last finishing touch. A couple of spoonfuls of oil onto the fish. It sizzles.
10 seconds,
10 seconds left. Morimoto, as is his wont, taking from all styles of cooking. The final seconds are ticking off in this battle. That's gonna do it. The cooking's done. The sweet fish battle is over.
So, how was your first time to be the main man?
I'm exhausted. Once is enough.
You don't want to do it again?
I prefer being an assistant.
Okay. And how about the dishes you prepared?
I think they are okay.
He did really well, I think. So now you know being an Iron Chef is tough.
Another ingredient not native to or used in the U.S.
Yeah. I arranged the fish in various ways according to my standards of how flavors should be controlled. Yes, my way.
In essence, you were battling two chefs, Miyanaga
Yes.
and Michiba. Did you beat them?
I did my best, my way.
Challenger Miyanaga is offering 6 dishes. First, sweet fish hors d'oeuvre combining 3 items. Sweet fish rice containing fried crushed fish bones flavored with Japanese pepper. Miso soup using an herb called water shield. And ice-cooled sashimi of sweetfish, a refreshing masterpiece gently presenting the essence of sweetfish, to be enjoyed with Japanese pepper sauce and grated daikon radish. Sweetfish stew Yamagawa style. Rokusaburo Michiba calls this dish the masterpiece of the day. A slight and pleasant bitterness left in the innards should produce a feeling of nostalgia among the tasters. Fried sweetfish and edible wild plants. This combines the flavors of river fish and wild plants, which are tied together by the sourness of lemon. Fourth is marinated baby sweetfish. This time the bitterness of the innards is masked by olive oil, making for a truly subtle dish. The citrus-based sauce brings harmony to the ingredients. Boiled sweetfish. The challenger employed a pressure cooker to give a glittering gold finish to the fish, and he's perfected a blend in flavors between the broth and light miso added to the dish. And last, sweetfish noodles. Not regular noodles. He uses kudzu starch to make the noodles for a pleasant, smooth texture. A wonderful way to finish the full-course meal. Iron Chef Morimoto counters with 6 dishes. Starting out with sweetfish sake and fried fish. He first fried the head of the sweetfish, poured sake over it, and neutralized the fishy smell with Japanese pepper. He added slices of jalapeno pepper to the fried fish. Second is frozen sweetfish sashimi. The frozen sweetfish slices will melt on the taster's tongue. They're flavored with the unique cocktail sauce. Third is fried sweetfish, fried after stuffing the fish with a paste of several ingredients and its cooked innards. The crispy texture and the body with 2 flavors can be savored, and the foie gras and miso sauce accompanies it. Fourth, rice and sweetfish soup. Michiba couldn't help but praise this dish during the battle. The Iron Chef used 6 sweetfish just for the broth of this soup, which will be poured when served. Fifth, grilled sweetfish, to be dipped in the soy and citrus sauce when eaten. Morimoto will finish it in front of the panel just before tasting by pouring heated peanut oil over it. Last is sweetfish liver chocolate, the Iron Chef's way of sanctioning bitterness in his style of cuisine. The bourbon and chocolate flavors speak to the New Yorkers he usually caters to. Former Iron Chef Japanese Rokusaburo Michiba believes current Iron Chef Masaharu Morimoto has strayed too far off the path of Japanese cuisine. What to do about it? He'll bring the man who assisted him in more than 160 battles, Kenichi Miyanaga, in the kitchen stadium to teach Iron Chef Morimoto a hard lesson about the heart of Japanese cuisine. For this seemingly grudge match, Chairman Kaga unveils the theme ingredient, sweetfish, for a real test of both men's abilities. The challenger, back on familiar turf, puts the squeeze on with 6 dishes. The Iron Chef meets the challenge with 6 dishes of his own. And now the moment of truth, tasting and judgment. On the panel today are lower house members Shinichiro Kurimoto, actress Sae Ishiki, actor Teruhiko Saigo, and culinary critic Asako Kishi. First, the dishes of challenger Miyanaga.
Japanese gourmets always ask for a dish using the innards prepared professionally to enjoy the slight bitterness together with the other intricate flavors. I have here 3 items that construct one flavor as a combination.
I love Japanese pepper. This is really nice, and I wish I could make rice balls with it.
I can see him leading us into his world of flavors.
The sweetfish's sweetness, its gentle flavor is maintained well in this dish. It's very good.
This really puts me on my toes. I'm looking forward to what's next.
Yes, the bitterness. Yes.
He boiled the sweetfish with the summer vegetables.
I tried the stew alone, and it was a bit strong, but with the rice, it was just right. I can handle this level of bitterness.
Yes, this really makes me feel nostalgic. Reminding me of scenes of the rivers up in the mountains. The thick flavor blends well with the bitterness in this. It's very nice.
But it's true that without the rice, it's too strong.
Too strong? Shouldn't be. Thanks.
Relative to the previous
stop eating
one, it is a bit too salty. It's the innards.
You could be right. A bit salty. Overall, this is a good presentation. It's okay.
The vinegar does a nice job tying it together, but I wish this was the first course.
Yeah, the vinegar is not too strong. It harmonizes well with the oil. This is very nice.
The olive oil is the key to this dish. It adds smoothness and body to the ingredients. This is what Michiba-san does when adding non-Japanese touches to his Japanese dishes, right? Nice job, I think.
The innards are what gourmets enjoy of this fish, you know?
There are a lot of flavors to this. The Sweetfish accepts all the flavors added, but this one, the fillet is nothing special, but the innards are great.
The innards are great.
The bitterness of the innards is controlled just right. Very good job, I think.
ということで、道夫さん自分で作られるよりも大変だったようですけど。
Yes, that's right. I feel really worried.
はい。宮永さんも。
Yes.
いかがですか。
It was a good experience. I'm committed to improving myself.
And now the dishes of Iron Chef Morimoto.
I tried to express my ideas, highlighting the bitterness and aroma of the fish my way. This is prepared like a cutlet with miso sauce. I use hacho miso, fresh cream, and foie gras paste.
The sauce really matches somehow very well with this innard stuffing.
I think this dish is to enjoy the innards really good.
The sauce has to be strong like this one to go with this dish. The miso accentuated with the foie gras makes it a perfect sauce.
The rice in sweetfish soup, praised by Michiba, is served by the Iron Chef himself. How will the broth, made from 6 sweetfish, be received?
Great. Just great.
It's very simple with a salty flavor. I like it.
It allows me to enjoy the aroma and the sweetness of the fish. And on top of that, separate from that, we have a grilled sweet fish together with it. This is an ultimate combination.
The seaweed broth and the fish is perfect. I can be satisfied just with this one dish alone today.
The peanut oil really draws out the aroma of the fish.
But you know, I am inclined to say that the flavor of the fillet is basically killed with this technique.
But the aroma is wonderful and matches well with the citrus flavor.
Pretty. The ice is used as a boat for this.
This is chocolate.
When you chew it, you taste the bourbon first, and seconds later, the bitterness of the fish.
Yeah? Let me see.
I was a bit worried before eating about the texture, but this is good. I like this.
I'm enjoying this light, bitter taste.
Yeah?
With the chocolate.
With the bitterness of the innards hidden in the chocolate, it comes out afterwards. This is very good.
Thank you very much.
He combined the various dishes very effectively, not just being aggressive all the way through, like using the subtle soup in the middle to refresh us. I think you're getting used to being the Iron Chef. Very nice work.
Thank you, ma'am.
We await the verdict. Victory will be sweet, bitter shall be defeat.
まさに新旧和の鉄人の激突となった今日の鮎対決。果たして道場の思いは届いたのか、そして森本の迷いは断ち切れたのか。それでは発表します。
Today, two opposite approaches to Japanese cuisine. Challenger Miyanaga, the former Iron Chef's right-hand man, demonstrating his mastery of the traditional approach. In what his predecessor termed a final qualifying test, Iron Chef Morimoto offered his New York-influenced neo-Japanese cuisine. Who takes it, the stand-in or the Iron Chef? Whose cuisine reigns supreme?
鉄人 人森本正治
It's the Iron Chef. Morimoto pulls out a huge win. The former Iron Chef stand-in Miyanaga unable to put a chink in the Iron Chef's armor. And Michiba gracious, offering his congratulations to the Iron Chef. Perhaps both men learned something today, as the changing of the guard is complete and official. Okay, check the scoring. Kurimoto, 16-15 Iron Chef. Ishiki, 18-14 Iron Chef. Saigo, 20-18 Iron Chef. Kishi, 18-16 Iron Chef. 4-0, a clean sweep by the Iron Chef in this final exam against his predecessor's #1 man. There's no doubt about it now. For what it takes to be and continue to be the Iron Chef, Masaharu Morimoto has the right stuff.
He seems to have a better idea now how to combine pure Japanese dishes with the other Neo-Japanese dishes. His balance was perfect today. I see him becoming polished through the battles he has gone through.